2019 elections coming up, there are a lot of issues that lies on the BJP government. They have to answer a lot of questions, a lot of financial questions with the fuel prices, with the GDP rate going down in this quarter. And to talk to us today, we have with us former Finance Secretary Mr. Ashok Jha. Sir, thank you so much for talking to ETV Bharat. My first question to you. In the international market, the prices of Brent crude has gone up 2 months back. It went up to $86 per barrel. Now it came down to the 50s. So seeing the international market, the trade wars that are going on, what's your take on the Brent crude?
You see, that's a very difficult question to answer because it depends on many international factors. One would be what is the price that the US government would want the crude to be in. Now, even though the prices have come down in the past few weeks, I was looking at the Brent crude futures market, and in the futures market the price is getting firmer, which means the prices are likely to rise. So this is a kind of yo-yo kind of situation, which really depends on geopolitical factors, and I think it would be quite foolish for anybody to predict as to which way it's going to go, because the Russians are supposed to reduce production. That's what I read somewhere, that they are planning to reduce production. But on the other hand, the Saudis may want to increase production because maybe the US government is pushing them to increase production. So I don't know which way it's going to finally end up.
So domestically talking about this issue, well, in the international market, the prices have gone down by around 35%. But domestically, the common users like you and me have just been benefited by 10%. One of the reasons for this is that the OMCs are making rupees 5 per liter, rupees 6 per liter on petrol and the diesel prices. And there's also been in question, a lot of experts believe that the variable tax as the price changes, like a state like Delhi, it has variable tax. As the price changes, the VAT is adjusted accordingly. A state like UP, for example, has a fixed tax rate. So a lot of experts are saying that we should have a fixed tax rate across the country. Do you believe that?
See, it's this situation is this, that if you have ad valorem rates, then your revenues will fluctuate according to the prices of the fuel. If you have a fixed rate, then the rate will be fixed it will be fixed. I mean, it will not vary according to the increase or decrease in the prices of fuel. Internationally, taxes are always on the basis of ad valorem rates, because the argument is that if the rates go up, then the taxes should also move up, and vice versa. So it's not that one is better than the other, but I think international general practice is that taxes are, for instance, say income tax. Now, income tax is not a fixed tax. It is a certain percentage of your income that's basically based on your income. If your income rises, you pay more tax. If your income declines, you pay less tax. So similar is the situation here. I think ad valorem rates are probably a better designed tax system. In my view, there is no such thing as a tussle. The RBI has a particular perspective. The government has another perspective. The perspectives really depend upon where one is sitting. So from the point of view of the government, they would like larger quantum of loans to be made available to everybody, MSMEs, etc. They would want more banks to lend more money. From the RBI's perspective, RBI is a monetary authority as well as RBI is a regulator of banks. So they have to see that the banks are functioning according to certain norms that have been prescribed. So it's not really a tussle, it's a difference of opinion, and these differences have been there in the past. Unnecessarily, this time around, there was a lot of controversy for various reasons, which should not have been there, because these are things that should have been discussed behind closed doors and solutions found within the system. Now, as far as whether the MSMEs should be lent more money, or whether the PCA, the norm should be diluted. See, my view is that you have the RBI, which is supposed to be the regulator. They have the expertise as to, which bank should be under PCA, which bank should not be. They have framed guidelines for that purpose. So I don't think one should really try to push them beyond their, for whatever criteria they've laid down. They have criteria for adequacy, capital adequacy, they have NPA, etc. There are 2 or 3 criteria for PCA banks. So I don't think it's really for for anybody else to push them to dilute that, because if you dilute that, your NPAs will go up. They may not go up immediately, but a few years down the road, then NPAs will go up. This, as far as MSMEs etc. are concerned, you see, it is a fact that MSMEs get less than 6% of the overall credit that is given out by the formal systems of credit. Obviously, banks here are either a little lazy in reaching out to smaller customers, or they feel more comfortable lending not based on the projects but lending according to collateral. So collateral based lending is what is very popular here, and on that score MSMEs lose out because they do not have much collateral to offer. So I think the solution really is for both sides, that is the government, the banks and the RBI, to sit down and thrash out certain criteria which could ensure that more money flows to MSMEs, because it is a fact that they are being starved of credit.
So you deny that there isn't any tussle like that, and obviously in an ideal situation we would like to believe that, but clearly there is a divide we can see with RBI board member S. Gurumurthy saying certain things on the non-performing assets as well as on demonetization. He said that the country was literally saved by demonetization. Ex-RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan said that demonetization and GST were big follies which actually rolled back the Indian economy. So what's your take on the whole thing?
See, as far as demonetization is concerned, I think enough economists have voiced their opinions, and by and large, everybody has agreed that demonetization was a step that should not have been taken. Okay, so I mean, different people are entitled to their different views, but I don't think that too many people subscribe to the view that demonetization was a roaring success. As far as this, what did you say on this? The demonetization and
Raghuram Rajan said certain things.
No, Raghuram Rajan is entitled to his views as far as demonetization is concerned. But if you recall, even the previous, the previous economic advisor recently has called demonetization, a big flop, disaster. As far as the GST is concerned, GST is a very good tax. There is no doubt that it's a game-changing tax, and it has been in the works for many years. The problem with GST was that it was probably not very well designed. There are far too many rates. It was introduced without too much of trial, and therefore it created a lot of hardship. But slowly things are being ironed out, and I think in the next few months GST will be far more friendly as far as the users are concerned.
So one last question to you, which everyone is talking about, all the experts are talking about: should the fuel be brought under GST?
In my view, yes, definitely it should be brought, but this is a question which will have to be dealt with on the political plane, because petroleum products taxation constitutes a very large segment of the revenues of state governments. So whether they will readily give up this power of taxation of something which is getting them, in some cases, more than 60% of their revenues, is going to be difficult. But in my view, theoretically, yes, GST should cover all products, not only petroleum, but even there are certain other things which are left out. Even they should come under GST.
Thank you so much for speaking to ETV Bharat.